And so our goal is to create a panel that can do both. So Leona, who's the mayor of Beaver Lodge, she's a mayor. She's used to finding consensus amongst stakeholders and council itself. Her entire career has been in small business financing, which makes her kind of a facilitator, an effective thinker, a listener, and a consensus builder. And she's smart, and that is, you'll see a common denominator against all of our panelists. Peter is both operational and academic. He's an energy economist, and his second nature is to assess the complete picture, which is what we have been asked to do. He's credible, he's current, he's still working in the industry, he's often on the leading edge of understanding new technology, and he's got street smarts and book smarts. And Annette is a former Deputy Minister of Finance. As you heard, she's a scientist and a professional person working in the public service. And what she brings us is that ability. She thrives on complex problems, which is something that we will definitely see. And she's an expert in public policy. And ultimately, if you're going to do a review like this, to make it do something more than just sit on a shelf, it needs to find its way into public policy. So you can see what we, and myself, I mean, everybody loves a banker. But you can see that the group is intended to really cover all of the aspects so we can come together and draw out the insights from the things that we hear.
What is going to be the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge is complexity. This is a very complex undertaking, and it is further complicated by the fact that we are in a period of intense technological change. We have a lot of competitive issues, particularly with having to compete with the United States producers. We've got changing global economics, we've got changing supply, changing demand. And so it's critically important that we recognize all those changes as we do this review going forward.
Well, I think, when we look at an economy where we're at right now, this is a good time to have a look at it. I think there needs to be conscious thought about having a framework that's going to work in times when we are in a slower period, as well as when it's robust. And when we're in an economy like we are now, people tend to take a more cautious look at it and step back and be very thoughtful about what goes into it so it works at any given time.
So your history in finance, that expertise, how will that be used in this panel?
What that gives me is perspective on how important oil and gas revenues are to the Treasury Board and to the budget for Albertans.
I guess what do you want to see accomplished in this review in that regard in terms of what the government is taking in?
What we all want to see is a royalty framework that everybody in Alberta trusts.